Oh, hi there, McKinney, Texas. I'm attorney Brandon Grable. And if you don't know me, I represent James Springer. He also goes by James Freeman. And I'm actually making this video today, so I'm glad you could join me, because you owe him in 30 days $98,863.70. Or we'll see you in federal court. Why? Well, you know that. Your police arrested him for telling an officer to shut up. Held him for 8 hours, never filed charges, and then coerced him into surrendering his constitutional rights to get his property back. So who is James Freeman? Well, he's a journalist. He records government officials performing their duties in public. He's posted over 850 videos at the time of this recording, documenting government activity. His First Amendment right to do so.
It is a county building, but you don't have unfettered access to be videotaping the employees. If they feel uncomfortable when you're videotaping them, you have to cease and desist.
Oh, really?
Okay, because then otherwise it becomes another legal matter.
Okay.
And on October 8th, 2025, he was recording a traffic stop in your city, standing at a safe distance and not interfering.
All right, we're in McKinney, Texas, which is just north of Dallas.
Look at this. Can I help you?
No.
Okay, can you just hang out right over there for me, please?
Okay.
Safety reasons, like my law, you have to give me some space.
I know. Go and do your thing.
Space.
Yeah. Yep.
Sir, do you know that guy? Sir. 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 I need you to stand back. Sir, you can give me the black shirt. Unless you want to go to jail for being an officer, please stand back over there. You're more than welcome to film.
What?
You're more than welcome to film, but you have to give me space to work.
Yeah,
For safety reasons, no, you're like super close. So just a little bit.
Come on, look, shut up.
So I'm gonna give you one last time, or I'll take you to jail for being. By telling me to shut up right now, I can take you to jail right there for that. I'm trying to deal with him. And you come over here and tell me to shut up, my own call. Absolutely not. I can take you to jail just for that.
We're saying shut up.
Yeah, I'm trying to deal with him. There's a safety issue. So
Where do you want me?
over there on the sidewalk over there.
Well, I
On
can
that
see
side.
me right there. I gotta be all the way back here.
Over there.
You feel safe from here? How many yards is this? Huh? No wonder people hurt you.
Ouch.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you following orders.
Yeah.
Thanks for following orders.
Yeah.
See, he said that just to like piss him off.
If I had a gun too, though, it'd be different, wouldn't it?
Ooh.
Sir, be quiet, sir, with that mic.
So look how far away he is. Super far. your name, sir?
Officer Hildebrand, badge number 254.
Thank you. Officer Hildebrand.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I need to give it to her. I'm a news reporter, man. I'm a news reporter. Right now, back up.
What's he getting arrested?
You can't just take my reporting equipment. Evidence. Recorded everything. It's live stream. What?
He backed up.
My arm doesn't bend that way. My shoulder. Hey,
Stop moving.
My right.
Stop
hold on. My
Yeah.
right rotator
Yeah.
cuff is messed up. Just let. Okay, bring this arm further over and this one on the side.
He literally didn't do anything. He listened to you. He listened. He went way back there.
Can I get a sergeant before you take me to jail, please? I complied with everything.
He complied with every single thing.
Can I get a sergeant before you take me to jail and look at his body?
That's why he was so far back.
Thank you. I don't know where you're looking at. Okay. Can you get a sergeant there and just be reasonable, please? I did everything you told me to do. Can we get it? Pass back. Can we get your sergeant and just be reasonable? I did everything you told me to do, did I not?
Yeah, make sure you get a supervisor. Hope one of you are a supervisor, because he literally listened to everything that was said.
People can request a supervisor. McKinney, we just don't contact supervisors because people necessarily request them. However, we do have a
Can
lobby.
you guys call the sergeant?
We do have a
Yes.
police station where you can request at the police station that speak.
You can't request one at the scene,
You can request. People can request all they
but you
want.
just won't do it.
We don't necessarily have to.
Well, no, but you won't.
Honestly,
You guys are gonna regret this.
Just the right rotator cuff is messed up, so.
I'm telling you, you're making the wrong decision right now, just because he got mad. This guy, he listened to everything.
I did everything you told me to do. You know I did. It's on video. If there were accountability paid, you drop the license right now. Alright, no problem. Hey, you're breaking that too. Can
what's the
Can I take any of his things?
Can you give it to her? Everything's live stream. It's not,
what's the best way to hold it right here?
you got to turn it off and then lock all three axes. Can she show you how to do it? Or I can lock them all. You got to lock the axes and turn off the gimbal.
I'll double hold it.
Okay. I do appreciate you trying.
I'm telling you, you guys are gonna regret this.
I'm not a problem. I did everything I was asked.
This is the wrong move, man.
Huh? Okay, well, he doesn't have a supervisor. Can you call it? Can you call his supervisor?
Yeah.
I know. I gotta go in butt first, right? Can I turn so I can put my butt in? Sure. So I can, okay. I'm trying to turn and you're pushing me the other way. Why are you doing this?
No, that's what I was doing with being able to do in meetings. I kind of shut up, be quiet, just want to back up and get able to do my full time control. So I got to figure out, I don't want to deal with that anymore until I was done with what I'm doing. Just for safety reasons.
So as you can see here, Freeman's recording the traffic stop from a safe distance. The officer conducting the stop starts questioning him. Freeman tells him to shut up. And then the officer tells him very clearly,
I'm gonna give you one last time, or I'll take you to jail. If I tell me to shut up right now, I can take you to jail right there for that. I'm trying to deal with him. When you come over here and tell me to shut up, my own call. Absolutely not. I can take you to jail just for that.
I can arrest you just for saying shut up during my traffic stop. The officer threatens very clearly that he can arrest Freeman for saying shut up during his stop. He didn't say he was going to arrest him for interfering. He didn't tell him to back up. He explicitly threatened arrest for the speech itself. Watch what happens next, though.
Safety issue. So
Where do you want me?
over there on the sidewalk over there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you following orders. Just following orders.
Yeah.
Freeman very clearly asks, "Where do you want me to stand?" The officer tells him. Freeman moves to that spot. And then what does your officer do? Thanks, Freeman, for following orders. Think about that. The officer just threatened to arrest Freeman for saying shut up. Freeman still complied. And the officer acknowledged Freeman was following orders. The officer then walks to continue the traffic stop, ticket in hand. The stop's wrapping up. Imagine this. The officer actually hands the ticket to the driver. The stop concludes. Lawful duties over. Recording the interaction? Done. But that's not what happened. Freeman tells the officer a second time,
Quiet here without my
So look how far away he is. Super far.
Did you see that? The officer stops, turns around, stares Freeman down for several seconds. You can see him contemplating, what am I going to do? How do I get this guy? After this, he gets into his vehicle, doesn't complete the stop. Also, he can arrest Freeman. So let me break this down. Did Freeman physically prevent the officer from completing the stop? No. Did Freeman touch him, block him, step in his way? No. Freeman was standing exactly where the officer told him to stand, following orders. The officer's own words. Thank you for following orders. Freeman spoke words. The officer was walking to complete the stop, and the officer chose to stop what he was doing to retaliate. And retaliate he did. Freeman was arrested, handcuffed, items seized, taken away. And only after Freeman is placed in the back of the vehicle, handcuffed, does the officer finally hand the ticket to the driver and let him go. So here's my question, McKinney. If Freeman was interfering with the traffic stop, why did the stop complete just fine once Freeman was in the back of the vehicle handcuffed? The answer? Because Freeman wasn't interfering. The officer's ego was interfering. The officer explicitly told Freeman he could arrest him for saying shut up during the stop. Freeman complied with the positioning anyway, and then Freeman exercised his First Amendment right again and told the officer again to shut up. Unfortunately, the officer made good on his threat. That's not law enforcement. That's retaliation for protected speech. And under Texas law, this isn't even a crime. Texas Penal Code Section 3815 makes interference with police duties an offense. But subsection D says that it's a defense if the interference alleged consists of speech only. Speech only. And the Fifth Circuit has explained this in McCullough v. Wright. In order to violate the statute, interference must consist of more than speech alone. And then in Freeman v. Gore, decided in 2007, the court held that even yelling and screaming at officers is protected speech. So what is interference that would be unlawful? Physical contact, physical obstruction. But arguing with cops, criticizing them, telling them to shut up, that's protected by the First Amendment. And the Supreme Court has made this clear in City of Houston v. Hill. The Supreme Court said that the freedom of individuals to verbally oppose or challenge police action without risking arrest is one of the principal characteristics by which we distinguish a free nation from a police state. A free nation from a police state. So McKinney, which are you? Are you free or are you a police state? And this is how I know everybody seems to acknowledge that arrest was unlawful. No charges were ever filed. Freeman was held for 8 hours, then released. 0 charges. Why? Probably because people who are smarter than those officers reviewed the circumstances and understood there was no probable cause. The officer literally told him on camera that he can arrest him for saying shut up. He said nothing about interference. He was arresting him for speech. He said it out loud. So your officers arrested my client to punish him for criticism, held him for 8 hours to teach him a lesson, then let him go. That's retaliation. And that's a violation of clearly established constitutional law. Your officers are without qualified immunity. But it gets worse. When Freeman tried to get his property back, his camera, his equipment, his SD cards, with years and years of data on it. Your officers told him they were submitting a warrant application to download everything off of his devices. Everything. They knew he wasn't from McKinney. They knew he was from out of state and that he had to leave. So what did they do? They let him know that if he consented to complete downloads, they would let him get his stuff back quicker. Think about that. Give up your Fourth Amendment rights or we'll keep your property. How long? Who knows? Freeman needed this equipment. His cameras are how he makes a living. So, of course, he signed. And McKinney presumably downloaded everything. His devices, his footage, his contacts, his sources, his entire digital life. Here's the kicker. Presumably, you never got a warrant. If you did get a warrant, I bet it was under false pretenses. I'm curious to know. Because if the affidavit was truthful, no judge would have signed that. Why? No probable cause. No charges filed. And not only that, listen to what Freeman told you all. Everything he recorded was being live streamed publicly. There was also someone else out there at the scene. She recorded everything. You all didn't take her phone. So what you all did to James was not consent, that was coercion. And the law doesn't stand for it. Why? Because Freeman had no choice. Sign this or we keep your stuff. And for him being a journalist, accessing his devices isn't just a Fourth Amendment violation. It's a First Amendment violation too. You didn't just violate Freeman's privacy. You violated his right to gather and report news without government interference. So again, here's the demand I'm authorized to make from Mr. Freeman. And this demand is made to you, the city council, police chief, and city manager. Pay James Freeman $98,863.70 within 30 days or we file in federal court. Let me explain that number because it's not arbitrary. I looked at the city's police payroll budget for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025, and I calculated what one day of the police department payroll cost the taxpayers of McKinney. One day. And it came out to $98,863.70. Freeman was arrested, held for 8 hours, equipment seized, he couldn't work, he couldn't earn a living. You stopped him doing his job for at least one day. So if your police department wants to violate someone's constitutional rights and waste their time, here's what one day of your time costs. You spend that much a day on police salaries. But you thought Freeman's First Amendment rights were worth nothing? You can afford to pay officers to make unlawful arrests, then you can afford to make this right. Hold on one second. This came from the client. Okay. So, Mr. Freeman has authorized me to make one other offer if the city can't afford this, okay? And it makes sense because I know probably what you're thinking, right? There's no way you're going to pay James Freeman. And you're probably right. You arrested him for saying shut up. You held him. You coerced him. And you never filed charges. So admittedly, you were wrong. But paying him, that would require humility, accountability, and basic decency. But fortunately for you, Freeman is willing to extend you a different offer if the one we made before doesn't work. $1. Oh, wait. But there is a condition. You have to change the name of your city from McKinney, Texas to James Freeman, Texas. Think about it. Actually, that's not a bad idea. For just $1, you could resolve this dispute. No lawsuit, no federal court, no discovery, no depositions where your officers explain under oath why they arrested someone for hurt feelings. Just $1 and a name change. That's it. And every time someone drives through your city, they'll see the sign. Welcome to James Freeman, Texas. Every time someone searches for your city online, James Freeman, Texas. Every time your officers put on their uniforms, James Freeman Police Department. Aha, I see what he was doing here. It's poetic, really. You tried to silence James. You arrested him for criticism. You retaliated against him for exercising his First Amendment rights. Now his name can be on your city forever for $1. Now, obviously, you're not going to take that offer. I know that. You know that. I'm sure James knows that. But here's why he's probably making it. Because this isn't about money. It's about principle. You cannot arrest people for criticizing you. You cannot retaliate against journalists for recording you. You cannot hold people's property hostage to coerce away their constitutional rights. And when you do these things, there have to be consequences. So no, I don't expect you to actually rename your city, but I want everyone watching this to understand what you did. You didn't arrest James Freeman because he broke the law. No. You arrested him because he hurt an officer's ego. So McKinney, in closing, you picked the wrong person to retaliate against. James Freeman has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He's posted hundreds upon hundreds of videos observing government officials performing their duties or not performing their duties. He's not going away. His audience isn't going away, and neither am I. So consider this a formal demand. You have 30 days to respond. $98,863.70. Your move. Or, for $1, change the name of your city to James Freeman, Texas. There is, of course, an option 3. That one I wouldn't mind either. We'll just see you in federal court. And of course, in court, we'll be seeking damages and attorney's fees, which will cost you significantly more than 1 day of your police budget. 30 days. Choose wisely. And for everyone else, if you want to follow this case, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Freeman's channel if you haven't already. Know your rights. Hold them accountable. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get to visit James Freeman, Texas someday.